If someone is telling you that you are a goat, how would you feel? Maybe embarrassed? Agitated, right? Because you are being called as a goat, and goat is an animal, right? So somebody is trying to insult you? No. GOAT is an acronym. In this modern era, we know what does GOAT stand for. But people who don't, I'm telling you, for them, the GOAT stands for greatest of all time. So what does greatest of all time mean? Well, is it something very special? Indeed, it is. But don't you think that some sort of comparison is also hidden? Because it's very difficult to identify and call someone as GOAT without comparing to someone else. So I don't know, it's a commercial term or what, but it's been in vogue. We all know that Wimbledon is going on at the moment, right? I'm sure we have tennis fan out there like me. I've been a tennis fan since my childhood. I would say arguably Roger Federer is somehow the other considered to be as a GOAT, right? When it comes to men's single. But when it comes to women's single, maybe Steffi Graf, maybe Serena, I don't know. But honestly, how you are coming to that particular point that you are considering someone as GOAT, does it mean that others are not great players? Think about it. If someone is becoming a world champion, that person is actually beating someone. So that person who got beaten is equally talented because that's a person who is playing in finals. Maybe, finalist for this particular tournament will become winner in some other Grand Slams. Wimbledon is definitely a special Grand Slam to everyone, and there are different reasons behind it. But it doesn't mean that other Grand Slams are not the greatest one as well. They are also Grand Slams, and they are equally counted. So we have 4 Grand Slams in a year, right? Everybody knows. But think about it. Maybe Federer has won 8 Grand Slam in Wimbledon, right? Maybe others are maybe lacking behind a little bit. Djokovic, Sampras, both of them have got 7. So you never know. Djokovic might win this Wimbledon for 2023 and becomes equal with Roger Federer. I never thought that Federer would be considered as the greatest because I grew up watching Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Sampras, Agassi. Yeah, they were great players, and each and every one of them was equally talented. Even they are still talented, right? Some players are maybe good at grass court, somebody may be good at clay, maybe hard court, something like that, right? Because each and every Grand Slam is played on different surface. But how would you consider that if someone is playing great on grass court, that person should be considered as the greatest? No. That's nothing but discrimination, in my word. But honestly, this is not the era to compare someone to someone else and say that, okay, this person is a GOAT, and the other person is not. That's going to be really an insulting statement for everyone, for every other player. Remember, these players, they put together a lot of effort, training, hard work, everything, and then they compete. So world number 1 and world number 2, say for example, they're playing in finals, and you are trying to degrade the world number 2. Is this really justified? No, you just can't. I don't know how to distinguish, because for me, every single person is equal. Every player is an individual, and each and every player is a character, right? And all of them are trying to win. So we should have equal respect towards everyone. But that's not the reality, right? Everybody has its own favorite star and that person is supporting. That's quite a natural habitat for all of us. But think about it in this perspective. When you are actually tagging someone as GOAT, what happens to the other person? What happens to the other players? Do they feel really great about it? I'm afraid they don't. deep down inside they get hurt, but because you are demeaning, degrading their hard work, their status, or maybe their rank. Now, we should not do that. It's a game. Of course, we should watch it. Wimbledon has a special place in our heart, I believe, when it comes to tennis and when it comes to Grand Slam. But still, what about Australian Open? What about French Open? What about US Open? There are also Grand Slams, and we look forward to each and every year to witness each and every Grand Slam. So let's not discriminate. Let's just embrace each and every Grand Slam. We all go by the stats most of the times, but that doesn't mean that we should actually wash out the talent that person has. Yeah, it's not like that. So you guys can let me know how do you feel about it. But to me, be it Wimbledon, be it any one of the Grand Slams across the globe, I think each and every player should be applauded by the crowd, by the critics, everyone. And we should just embrace the game of tennis.